think if Canelo was using the jab effectively, hard, the guy wouldn't have been able to come in because the guy was coming in because he wasn't worried about Canelo's jab. So he got more aggressive and he got brave. If you're not jabbing, he has no defense.
I really don't care how big Crawford is. If I'm Canelo, I feel disrespected. You know, coming up 2 weight classes, you haven't fought at 68. We don't know how your body's going to react.
He's got the heart, he's got the speed, the skills, and he's going to go out there. I was thinking he put up a good first 6 rounds, but then Canelo will start picking it up. But now I think Crawford will go I'm picking Crawford to win now.
Mike Tyson has voiced serious concern for Canelo Alvarez's future, warning that a loss to Terence Crawford could be damaging to his legacy. Tyson notes that Canelo has often underutilized his jab in past fights, which allowed opponents to gain confidence and close the distance. He advises that Canelo must now refine and consistently use his jab to control the pace and prevent Crawford from building momentum.
Not going to jab, the guy's going to walk right in on him like he did. Next fight, use your jab, different fight. Oh, it was really basic, you know.
Veteran analyst Teddy Atlas acknowledges that Canelo Alvarez has faced a long list of elite opponents across multiple weight classes, giving him one of the most impressive resumes in boxing. By comparison, Terence Crawford has not faced as many big-name fighters. However, Atlas argues that greatness is not always defined by resume, but rather by the quality of skill and adaptability shown in the ring. He believes Crawford's control of angles, timing, and ring generalship will allow him to overcome Canelo's physical advantages. Atlas adds that Crawford's calm presence and ability to adjust mid-fight could prove decisive against a seasoned champion like Alvarez.
Maybe he's a little overrated.
Terence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez at 168 pounds.
Canelo's really good. Really good. But I think Crawford is special. I know he hasn't fought the resume everyone wants, but you have that or you don't have that ingredient. I think he has it. Canelo's really good. He's tremendous. But could he be a tiny bit overrated? The greatness is within Crawford. It's in his desire. It's in his mind. It's in his makeup, where he came from. I know he's moving up in weight class. Can he carry it? You know, but those intangibles, I believe that he has them.
The stakes for Canelo Alvarez go far beyond the outcome of a single fight. With Terence Crawford moving up to weight divisions, the pressure rests squarely on Canelo's shoulders. A loss would trigger criticism that Canelo couldn't defeat a naturally smaller opponent, despite holding the size, strength, and experience advantage. Such an outcome could tarnish his legacy and raise serious questions about his current standing in the sport. For that reason, the risk for Canelo begins long before the opening bell.
No, I really don't care how big Crawford is. If I'm Canelo, I feel disrespected. You know, coming up 2 weight classes, you haven't fought at 68. We don't know how your body's going to react. And you just think, you know, you just going to come up and beat me. We seen it with Charlo, his videos, how he was looking, you know, moving around the ring. And everybody thought, you know, that might work. And we saw what happened come fight night. Crawford is a skillful guy, but like, who has he really beaten? Spence. After Spence, you know, now all of a sudden he can jump up 2 weight classes and beat Canelo. I don't see it. If I'm Canelo, I would have to make the statement with Crawford. Canelo cannot lose this fight. He shouldn't lose this fight.
David Benavidez speaks confidently about Terence Crawford's elite status in boxing, describing him as a fighter operating on a different technical and mental level. Benavidez highlights Crawford's ability to switch stances, stay composed under pressure, and dictate the pace of a fight regardless of the opponent. He credits Crawford's success not just to physical talent, but to a high boxing IQ that enables him to systematically break down even the most experienced fighters.
Terence Crawford, does he have an opportunity to beat Canelo?
I think if anybody has a chance to beat Canelo, I think it's Terence Crawford. His IQ is on another level. He's a great fighter and he's strong. It's just that it's a lot of weight. I wouldn't be surprised if Terence Crawford wins. Wouldn't be surprised if Terence Crawford, when he went up against the best opposition, like Errol Spence, he showed what level he's on, what type of dog he is. So I don't know. You really have to let these fights play out to see what happens. He might get hurt. That might activate him to come back strong.
Could you still make 68?
I don't want to make 68.
No, I know you don't. Terence wins 68.
Yeah, well, if that's, yeah, I can make 168.
Jeff Mayweather highlights Terence Crawford's exceptional technical abilities, particularly his capacity to read opponents and adjust with pinpoint precision. While he gives Crawford the edge in pure boxing skill, Mayweather cautions against underestimating Canelo Alvarez. Canelo's power and championship experience make him dangerous at any moment, capable of turning a fight with one punch. Jeff warns that overlooking Canelo's ability to adapt would be a serious mistake for Crawford or any fighter.
It's kind of tough, but if anybody can do it, I think it would be Terence Crawford. I mean, skill-wise, I think he's a better fighter than Canelo, but Canelo is also a great fighter but he owns that weight class that he's in. So I would just say that I think that Crawford has to fight almost a perfect fight to win.
Max Kellerman's analysis focuses on the jab as a key component of this matchup. He praises Crawford's jab for its accuracy and efficiency, which he uses to control distance, set up combinations, and disrupt opponents' timing. Kellerman contrasts this with Canelo Alvarez, whose jab once served as a powerful weapon but has become less consistent in recent fights. He suggests this could leave Canelo vulnerable to Crawford's disciplined use of the lead hand.
I'll give you a list of attributes, and then tell me who do you feel is best in that attribute. First attribute, best jab.
Crawford.
Best defense.
Crawford. Nowadays, Crawford. I would say early in the fight, Canelo. And earlier in his career, Canelo. But he hasn't been that kind of fighter in recent years. Although Crawford is also hittable. With any fighter, when you talk about their defense, the question is not, can they be hit with a shot? You take punches. Everyone, the greatest defensive fighters ever get hit. Pernell Whitaker, Willie Pep, Floyd Mayweather, they all get hit. The question is, can you hit them with combinations? And both guys are hard to hit. With the two-piece, hard to hit.
So who has the best footwork out of the two?
In terms of cutting off the ring, last fight notwithstanding, Canelo has gotten much better at cutting off the ring.
Gary Incho and Russell highlights the stylistic and cultural contrasts between the fighters. He explains that Canelo Alvarez embodies the traditional Mexican boxing style, applying smart pressure, punishing the body, and relying on counterpunching. In contrast, Crawford represents a style rooted in rhythm, fluidity, and defensive awareness, often associated with African American fighters. This clash of styles adds an intriguing layer to the fight, as each will aim to impose their rhythm, while neutralizing the other's strengths.
Canelo, he has mastered his style. You know, typically, Latinos, they got their own style versus melanated black people. Having like more rhythm, more flashiness and panache to their stuff, more swag.
Yeah.
We just fight different than other ethnicities. If you want to throw Amir Khan in there, his ethnicity, he was in and out.
Yeah, that's the European kind of style.
Textbook, you know, but that was his style. Canelo got his style and he mastered it. Terence Crawford cannot take nothing away from him. He's like freakishly good, you know. He go both sides, southpaw, orthodox, you know. And I feel like he adapt well. But it don't take much to get hit, especially these little 8-ounce gloves. He cannot slip up. He cannot slip up. He gonna have to stay set from bing to bing from round 1 to 12, and he better be in shape.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like not 12 round shape. I'm talking about like 16 round shape.
Trainer Robert Garcia has openly expressed support for Terence Crawford in this high-stakes fight. Garcia admires Crawford's discipline, dedication to fundamentals, and tireless work ethic. He believes Crawford's success at the highest level highlights the value of technical skill and ring intelligence in boxing. While Garcia respects Canelo Alvarez's accomplishments, he is personally rooting for Crawford to come out on top.
You know, I love Crawford. He knows that. I've seen him. I've talked to him many times, and I wish him the best. I'm actually very happy for him and Bomac for everything they've done and the big fight that they're getting. You know, in this sport, making it to those fights and making it to those paydays, you got to be happy for anybody that makes it there. So Bomac knows, Crawford knows. Now I'm actually, after Crawford, I'm actually leaning towards Crawford to win this fight.
Why is that? What changed?
Because I know Crawford's he's got the heart, he's got the the speed, the skills, and he's gonna go out there. I was thinking he put up a good first 6 rounds, but then Canelo will start picking it up. But now I think Crawford will go for I think Crawford will get. I'm picking Crawford to win now.
Omari Jones praises Crawford's methodical approach to gaining weight for the Canelo fight. Rather than bulking up quickly and risking a loss of speed, Crawford has focused on building strength through careful nutrition and conditioning. This has allowed him to retain the agility crucial to his style, while adding the durability needed to face a naturally bigger opponent. Jones believes that smart preparation gives Crawford the best chance to compete effectively at a higher weight class.
And like me personally meeting Crawford several times, it's like the man is just so competitive. It's like I don't even have to say nothing to him. He'll just like, man, when we sparring, it's like his competitiveness is always gonna put him over the edge. And then he just has that like, I'm not gonna let you bully me, or his skill set. And it, I know they talk about Charlo when Charlo moved up, but I feel like it may be a little bit different for Canelo this time around because Crawford took the moving up in weight classes serious. He did the dieting, he did the training. So I feel like when you put in work like that, it's a win-win. So
you don't think Crawford, gaining that weight, because I saw him, he's pretty big. You don't think that's going to be a disadvantage for him in this fight?
No, it looked like he put it on the right way. The nutrition, the like I said, the training. Crawford, he trains hard. So I feel like, I know they say he probably went up to like 185, so he has to lose that weight. But I think if he did it the right way, which I know he did, he'll be successful in September.
And I know, like we discussed earlier, we talked with your pro debut, and now you're 3-0. Your last fight, July 19th against Blanco, and it was actually your 3rd win by knockout.
Yes.
I'm super proud of you. How are you feeling about your pro career so far?
I'm feeling great about my pro career. I definitely feel like it's off to a great start.
Paulie Malignaggi adds to the discussion by commending Crawford's physical preparation. He points out that Crawford has gained muscle strategically, enough to handle Canelo's power without losing the speed needed to counter and evade pressure. Malignaggi credits this to Crawford's disciplined training camp and attention to every detail, from diet to sparring. He believes this could be the difference maker in Crawford's ability to impose his style against a bigger opponent.
Roy Jones is Roy Jones, but also Terence Crawford is Terence Crawford. But John Ruiz is not Canelo Alvarez. So that's another aspect of that comparison. And yes, to exactly what the champ said, exactly what Abel Sanchez said, you're going to put on weight, you're going to be a different fighter. And I can say this, even as a fighter as myself, as I've gotten heavier in my retirement, I try and move around the gym, it just feels different. And even when you start camp, you feel different in the beginning than you do at the end. But listen, we're still 4 or 5 weeks away. I don't know exactly what Terence is weighing right now. And even if he does say what he weighs, man, he's gone out there and said he's weighed, all types of crazy numbers just to get media to respond. So it's really not really going to know until the fight and we see these guys next to each other. He might look bigger right now, but he might not be that heavy. He might still be in the range that these guys are targeting for the.
Stephen Bredman Edwards focuses on Crawford's elite movement as the foundation of his success. He explains that Crawford's control of distance forces opponents into uncomfortable positions, causing them to miss and exposing them to counters, combined with top-tier conditioning. This allows Crawford to maintain a high pace over 12 rounds. Edwards also points to Crawford's mental toughness, noting that he remains calm and composed even under heavy fire, something that could be key against Canelo's pressure.